Okay. Recruitment officer recruitment program. So this would reduce the need for officers, camouflage designs. Oh wow, that is something I like, obviously. Something the nations back then were not really kind of focused on. They just had nice looking uniforms rather than camouflage. In any case, let's see what else. Send help to Abyssinia. What's that? Abyssinia. Choose to send help to Abyssinia in the war with fascist Italy. No. Black Eyes game guide. No, Black Eyes. On 36 star, too many people learn about war with no inconvenience to themselves. They read about Verdun or Stalingrad without comprehension, sitting in a comfortable armchair with their feet beside the fire, preparing to go about their business the next day as usual. One should really read such accounts under compulsion and discomfort, considering oneself fortunate not to be describing the events in a letter home, writing from a hole in the mud. One should read about the war standing up late at night when one is tired. Guy, soldier, the forgotten soldier. Well, what can I say about that? I think that this would kind of be useful if you're like really into it, if you understand it, because I think that there's a large portion of population that just wouldn't understand that, how bad it is, because life is good for others, life is bad for others. So life is good for some people, life is bad for the others. You know what I mean? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think that the most important thing is for you to feel good while reading about World War II. So if it makes you feel good to just sit there and look at the computer and read about it, it's fine. If it's good to kind of sit outside in the mud and read about World War II, it's fine. If it's good for you to stand up while you're tired, read about World War II, it's fine. Maybe that makes you feel that you are in Stalingrad right now, reading about Stalingrad because you feel tired. You know it's bad to stand all day and read about it. So you know what I mean. It's all about the thing that makes you feel good. Obviously, you want to enjoy it. You don't want to kind of cram it into your mind what Stalingrad is all about. Obviously, it's just that the Nazis lost their first major battle, army, and so on and so forth. Millions have died, but millions have died in other places in Soviet Union also. So it's just about Nazis being defeated there. That's all, nothing else. It was as brutal as any other place out there. Oh, but let's see what's that all about. Get Black Eye 7. Okay. Based on the legendary Ice mod by D-Day, we are proud to bring you Black Eyes. The mod has been developed by countless people over the last few years and continues to push the boundaries of what can be modded in Hearts of Iron 3. Almost every file and line of code has been taken apart, looked at, and put back together. Constantly updated with new units, text, and events, Black Eyes has put the iron into Hearts of Iron 3. We promise you will never go back to vanilla game again. Here you can choose difficulty setting and let game commence. Oh wow. So very easy. So very easy. Yugoslavia gets Black Eyes easy until January 1968. So that's the end. Okay. That gets normal, hard. Okay, grow fast. Never seen that. Remove all modifiers. Grow fast. So loses 10,000 officers, 10,000 medals. So pretty much lose everything. We won't be making much, but probably other nations will be. So we're gonna do just that. Oh, look at that. Air interception efficiency minus 10%, leadership modifier minus 20%, organization regain rate minus 30%. So that means we will have to get ourselves specialist training due to organization regain rate reduced so much we would barely regain organization. However, this would reflect that we are not a major power quite nicely. So let's go for grow fast. Wow. Okay, and that's that. Okay, so let's go into training laws and specialist training. That give us plus 25 organization rate, which will amount to minus 5 due to the most hardest difficulty there. Okay, annual national focus. This decision needs to be taken at the start of each year to decide upon a new national, economic, military, or scientific focus. Okay, let's see. National focus. Choose where you would like your nation to focus its production efforts during the coming year. Let's go for army focus, balanced focus, air focus, economy focus, health and education, money, a lot of money, research focus. We'll go for health and education. Examine our nation's health and education. Increasing the amount of hospitals will increase our casualty trigger back, but thus saving manpower losses. We might also gain a rail terminus for better supply through output, a new training ground for more unit experience, or an urban expansion for greater manpower growth in that province. So build new centers. Yugoslavia building health and education. Uh, Boost existing centers or choose another. Let's go for building new centers. Once I see energy, metal, rare materials, supplies, and money. Fine. Black Eyes game guide. Okay, we already have chosen this, right? Black Eyes on web. For complete documentation of Black Eyes, including zero, you can visit our online blackeysmod.com. Okay, Abasam. Bank for international settlements. Need a little extra cash? Sell some of your hard-earned supply pool to the Bank for International Settlements. The supplies will go to the Swiss unless they join a faction or are occupied. If you attack the Swiss, the ability to sell supplies this way will end. Not worth it. Unless we sell-50 the supplies. But let's be part of it. Prepare for war. Oh wow, what the hell? Peace is boring. With little scaremongering, we could easily make our nation a lot less neutral and then perhaps pay our neighbors a visit. Actually, I didn't want to do it, but let's assume that the people working in the government have just kind of tricked me or fooled me into doing that. We can always end up being attacked by Italy, so lowering our neutrality may not be the right answer here. National recruiting policy. National peacetime recruiting policy. Your Highness, in times of peace, a nation mustn't completely forego the need to prepare for potential threats. Sometimes that may mean adjusting our policies for certain things, such as recruiting and enlistment. While you may find our current recruiting policy to be satisfactory, there are a few additional options that may be worth considering. We can limit our recruiting to just those young individuals with top-notch physical conditioning. This will obviously limit our available manpower growth somewhat, but we should end up with better trained troops when they first encounter the enemy. Conversely, and it makes me chuckle to say this, but we can open our ranks to virtually anyone who can carry a weapon. Granted, we'll have to deal with old men, underage boys, and probably a few invalids, but our manpower ranks will swell, the finished production will suffer as a result, however, and likely need more hands-on work to round them out. Finally, we can leave things as they are now. Open the ranks to anyone. I prefer more balanced in approach. Let us put a strict filter on who we call our nation's finest. Starting experience plus 30, organization regain rate plus 5%, air organization plus 5%, naval organization plus 5%. I see efficiency for production minus 15%. Otherwise, if you open the ranks for anyone who will help, our leadership modifier will go down, daily descent change becoming high. Things will be really, really bad. I prefer more balanced approach, so that will increase unit experience by quite a bit, by 15. Let's focus on our finest troops. I want to create a very powerful army that could hit the Soviets where it hurts. We'll make sure that Ivan looks like Ivan when he faces Yugoslavians, because an Ivan is going to lick the blackness of our boots. Chinese difficulty setting. Well, see what's that all about. The Chinese AI difficulty setting. Choose the difficulty level of the Chinese AI. All levels will affect the potency of China, with the high levels possibly meaning the Chinese AI might put quite a fight against Japan and thus pose a much more difficult opponent in Asia. Let's make them hard. Italian difficulty setting. Make them hard. So national reward list -9, national manpower +75, crude oil +15, energy +15, money 100 +150, and so on and so forth. Okay, Japanese difficulty, let's make them hard also. German difficulty hard. Eastern Front difficulty setting. The options here are set up the difficult levels for the Soviet AI. This allowed the player some possibility of customizing the power of the Soviet Union. This will have particular repercussions on German-Soviet war. Noob level should present little challenge to even the first time vice player, and German AI average tends to see the German AI come close to knocking the USSR out and should allow a competent player to win. Hell should present a definite challenge to an experienced player. Grow fast level should be not so much if the player AI can win, rather how long they can survive. Note that these are long-term economic effects for the Soviets. When Barbarossa begins, the German player will also be able to choose a specific level of combat and supply bonuses penalties for the first 6 months of the campaign. Okay, so that's all about how long we're gonna survive. Let's go for hard anyway, and that's it. It's fine. Western Front difficulty setting. Choose a difficulty level for the US and UK, and each level affects the economic industry. We're gonna make them normal. Okay, leader backstory. Player backstory star. Parents can only give good advice or put them on the right paths, but the final forming of person's character lies in their own hands. And Frank, where a person is from and how their race plays an integral part of the formation of a person's leadership traits. Let's figure out a little bit about you before you assume power. Sounds good, let's get started. Player's backstory. Your mother. The mother-child relationship is paradoxical and, in a sense, tragic. It requires the most intense love on the mother's side, yet this very love must help the child grow away from the mother and to become fully independent. Eric Fromm. Staunch political lobbyists. You spread patriotism out of your passion, but not everyone is drinking your Kool-Aid. A political negotiator. Your ability to get both sides to come together for a solution is handy, though it has alienated some groups. Pioneering scientist. The scientific community adores you, potential soldiers not so much. Let's see. Correspondent during Great War, respected leader in the community, gave up for adoption when you were born? Yeah, that's me. Gave you up for adoption, the bitch. You're fiercely independent, but the general population simply doesn't approve of your strong-armed tactics. Player backstory, your father. I have found the very best way to advise your children, so is to find out what they want to do and advise them to do it. US President Harry Truman, your father, was a respected intellectual professor, was an adventurous sailor. Player backstory, childhood. When we are children, we seldom think of the future. This innocence leaves us free to enjoy ourselves as few adults can. The day we fret about the future is the day we leave our childhood behind. Your childhood could be summarized. Your parents encourage well-rounded behaviors. Your parents focus on energies into competitive athletic endeavors. You grew up in a very poor family. Your parents encourage you to read as many books as possible. You loved to daydream and build things. Your parents sent you off to military school. You become child apprentice in factory. Let's start over. Your parents encourage well-rounded behaviors. Player backstory, your childhood hero. We do not have to become heroes overnight, just a step at a time, meeting each thing that comes up, discovering we have the strength to stare it down. Eleanor Roosevelt. Your childhood hero was a famous soldier, a famous politician, a famous radio character, a famous industrialist, a wealthy and independent businessman, a prominent banker. Well, it's hard to say. Don't really have a hero that would be, I mean, hero. But who did I liked? I liked the movie characters more than the men that actually have successfully filmed in those movies as those characters. So I would say that the best person that could go as an actor is a radio character. So go for a famous radio character. Player backstory as a young adult. What a distressing contrast there is between the radiant intelligence of a child and feeble mentality of the average adult. As a young adult, you became a sailor in the Navy, became a pilot in the Air Force, became a soldier in the Army, fell in with a radical militant crowd, became a peace activist, went to medical school and became a doctor, became an apprentice to an industrialist. Interesting. I probably became an apprentice to a computer, so I'll go for that. What I learned from a PC and internet. So besides school, obviously, and some other things, but mainly it is the PC. Player backstory done. It is the year 1936, and the new day is dawning in the world. What achievements will you claim to? What diplomatic bonds will stand the test of time? Can you protect your nation against the growing threat of a global conflict? It is up to you. Your unique personalized leader unit will be deployed to your capital city. Let's get ready to rumble. Alright, so everything is set. Set, leave backstory. Set. Okay, so that's me. It's me, you. It's you, regiment. 4 defense, 150%, amphibious movement minus 5,000, mountain defense plus 80. Probably nothing special, I guess. So how look, and you left the game YouTube channel. Okay, let's just leave it like that. Okay, and where will you go? Where will you go? You should probably go to some city of some sort. Let's just kind of keep you here then, and send the headquarters somewhere else. That's gonna be just fine. Alright, it's time to move things up. Obviously, we're consistently going to get these because I just haven't noticed option to tick for my trade. Unfortunately, I just kind of don't see it, and that's it. Oh, here it is, finally. So what do they want? Give them supplies. They want to buy supplies. No, I will not. Sell them supplies. Let's forget about upgrades for now. Reinforcements, we don't need them. Supplies are going to be limited. We're just gonna give soldiers money to buy stuff, and we're going to use ammunition just for training, so we won't need much. We don't need to kind of stack things up in hundreds of thousands. Not yet. We're gonna do this just before the war with the things that we actually need, and we're gonna probably buy a lot of stuff anyway. We're gonna put most of the stuff in production here, and obviously it's not much, but that's not a problem. Furthermore, our divisions here need to be looked after in just a bit. So the army is going into position. Great Depression efforts. are in place here. What a surprise. We have lost okay, we have lost the effects of the Great Depression effect. So okay. Looks like things should be much better now. And if you have noticed, we don't have anything, really anything. We're just kind of dry on things. And I'm fast forwarding this by quite a bit. I want everybody to to start moving into locations from which I'll be able to set things up. As you can see, it lags a little bit, or maybe it's supposed to be like that, I'm not sure. Nationalist decision available. No, not send hell. Peace, yeah? First of all, I just want my armies to where they're supposed to be moving. Furthermore, are we aligning to the Nazis? Looks like we are, but we're currently investing in consumer goods descent. Okay, we're not investing in consumer goods, so we will. Okay, we're going to invest a lot more. That have that much. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and everybody else needs to start coming back into the positions. As you can see, we have quite a bit of cavalry units here. Cavalry, on the other hand, isn't really the thing. My unit here is right here, that's me. I can't sign leader, but why would I do that? First regiment. First U regiment, so just say me. Okay. Or I am here. Done. Okay. So what do we have here? Some U troops here and there. Let's create the first corps and try to add stuff to the first corps. See where will this go. Oh no. Oh no. And he went to the Africa HQ. Not exactly where I want to go. Alright. So how many you can have? You can have 5. Alright. Who didn't made it? You didn't. Okay. It looks like slowly but surely these will get there. And I'll need to rename some of them later. Also, these need to be moved into light infantry. Okay, that was infantry and into light infantry. Fine. That should make it faster. You will go to mountain infantry. Okay. You'll be retrained into mountain infantry. Can't be retrained in anything just yet. That's fine. Unfortunate, but fine. And I want the troops to further move. 4 would soon be 5. It's 4. but will soon be 5. What's that? I wonder. Looks like a hospital. Yeah, that's a hospital. So units will probably that here. So that's 1, 2. No, 1, 3, 4. Got you. Goes somewhere here also. And that's it. So sooner or later, everybody's gonna get there. Very low popularity, unfortunately. Looks like I'm getting more and more agents. I want even more agents. Probably won't have to build many more after that. Okay. So far so good. Now that's 5. That's 5. You go here, go to the capital. Going to set things up. Furthermore, let's nationalize stuff. So let's steal stuff. Energy 5,000. What else is here? Metal 5,000. Rare materials 5,000. Added rare material is 0. Why? Why? Why not more? Let's add 0, see if that makes sense. No? No? No rare materials? Okay. Oil. Maybe we can trade rare materials. Who knows? Well, nothing for oil. Crude oil? Okay, let's try crude oil then. Crude oil. No crude oil added. Let's say fuel. What about fuel? Bam! Added fuel. So it looks like it's gonna be just fine. Okay. And diplomatic influence. Their Highness diplomatic influence is being used on us by the Soviet Union. It looks like these people that we want to occupy so much or cover ourselves an empire in there wants to influence us and make us their friends. Obviously, they may kind of say to us, so what they're saying or chit-chatting to us, that if in case of war you join us, then we, Soviet Union, are going to help you or allow you to occupy a nearby neighbor, and this will make everybody so much happier in the future, and this will make us feel very friendly and call ourselves each other allies. However, in Europe, we may occupy Bulgaria, Romania, Greece, Albania. However, in the Soviet Union, we may carve ourselves an empire 5 or 10 times as large as the Yugoslavia that we currently have. And now I crashed.